be the hot topic.
Major highlight.
Trendsetters, ain't nobody that have been.
Spectacular.
Learn for you get schooled. Number one, that been the move.
Yes, sir. 2016 NBA champion and a friend of the show. Always coming to see us. Iman Shumpert joins us on Run It Back. Good morning, my brother. How you feeling?
Good morning. I'm good.
That push-off was offensive, by the way. I don't know why they didn't call that. Tony Brothers was asleep at the wheel.
Shump, I gotta give you your flowers, dog. Every time I look up, if it's somebody talking about our beloved game, it's Shump Street. You out here working, my brother. So salute to you.
Yeah, I'm trying, dog. You know, I try and, like, focus on basketball, man. I think so many times we get caught in storylines, and that's all well and good. Media is media, but I love the fact that we as the players are all, like, coming together on these media platforms to discuss the actual game.
Understood. All right, give us the goods. New York Knicks, they win their first championship after 53 years. We saw how the fans was acting. We saw how the city was coming out. What did this do for the franchise? What was the energy? We saw you outside in the mix. What was going on?
Well, I mean, for the franchise, everybody that's gotten to put on a New York Knicks jersey, I think they all reap the benefits of having a celebration. To have everybody that wore that jersey just be touched by the fans, tweeted by the fans, the comments was crazy, the energy was crazy. But when we really break down what happened, the Knicks won for them. Those guys not having the history connected to them, they had a laser focus in that locker room that they were going to win a championship since day one. We knew they would come out of the East. I think everybody projected them, that was watching closely on the Eastern Conference. You either watch the East or the West for some reason as a basketball fan. If you were watching the Eastern Conference, you kind of knew they would come out. You didn't know how they would match up. They found ways to win, and I feel like they now changed the DNA of the NBA. When I say that, I say there is now a challenge that has to go to GMs to build an actual team. I ain't saying you need specialists, but you need complementary players. You have to start really looking at your roster and say, who's the head of the state? What's his deficiency? How do we hide his deficiency? How do we have an answer for certain stuff? How do we play a small lineup? How can we play a lineup if we need ball handlers because we're seeing a trap? How do we set it up to where we have guys that'll do the dirty work, go down there on the inside, and can use 6 fouls a game? You have to build a roster, and I think that's a challenge to the rest of the league's GMs, as well as their president, because Leon Rose, Worldwide West, these guys have done an incredible job putting together a ball club that could match any lineup in the NBA, but also can find ways to win.
So do you think, like, the big three, you think that's kind of gone now? You need a little bit of everything and still some success in the draft? Or, like, how do you build that team if you're a GM?
Well, we can never say the big three thing is gone, because if you get the right three together, we understand the gravity and magnitude of what can be done, right? But when you start talking about things that happen throughout the playoffs, we already saw the best ability is availability. You have to be healthy. You have to be ready to play if you want to win in this league. Guaranteeing that you are reliant on 3 players and everything goes correct, it's just tough to do, especially when you're trying to keep guys healthy throughout a season and then throughout the playoffs and then making it to the finals. I wouldn't say it's gone, because like I said, people are talented, and you can be, as a GM, you could feel like that's the way to go. But even when you put together your top 3, you're going to have to put together a team around that. You're going to have to go out here and really do your homework and say, hey, this guy was this version of himself in this team, and we're going to get him to buy in to be this version of himself on this here team. You're going to have to find the right windows and match things up. I just feel like the Knicks made the job harder for people, because no matter what happened throughout the season, they were able to adjust. They were able to adjust on the fly, game to game, and then series to series. When I look around the league, I see a lot of lazy work as far as GMs putting together teams that it's like, this name looks nice, that name looks nice, that name looks nice, slap them together, it doesn't work, trade everybody. Yeah. Now you kind of have to start going down your draft picks. and developing your draft picks, having guys in the pocket that are say, hey, this guy's been a part of the culture 2 or 3 years. He hasn't gotten his chance, but we've been grooming him for this. Now that this injury happens, he steps in. Now we have 2 guys at that position willing to do what we need them to do. I think that the coaching and the GM standpoint changes now that the Knicks won, rather than if a San Antonio would have run. I feel like everybody would have been more reliant on youth and trying to go get players that had what's the word I'm looking for? Upside, yeah.
Little potential.
Players that had a little bit more upside and, picking on potential and what somebody could do just because a young ball club would have won. I think that it also left a window for veteran leadership to be talked about again, because all those guys had been through the playoffs. They all had playoff experience. They all had a heartbreak in the playoffs, and that was the one thing that San Antonio didn't have. So the landscape changed a little bit.
That's a great point. Yeah. They put a premium back on veteran leadership in a league that's went away from that and given so many of those last few spots to two-way players and all of that. The New York Knicks showed it how it's done with some veteran leadership. That's a good call, Sharpe.
Sharpe, I want to just get back to the situation too of the Garden, all the former players there. Like, what was that like as a former Knick? Like, Starks is damn near on the court every possession.
No, he was on the court.
Like, I don't know how he didn't get teed up. Is there like a group chat with all you guys, all the old heads on the chat? Like, I need to know details.
Well, first off, I'm not part of the old head conversation. I'm still.
No, I'm saying, like, is Larry Johnson in the chat?
I'm former player. I'm not old head status yet.
Hey, don't fight it, Sharpe. Don't fight it, dog. Come on the way. Don't fight it.
But there is a couple of different group chats that go. I think everybody's kind of got their era's group chat, and then there's a couple of group chats that have just, a couple of guys that just mix well, from the same cloth, or guys that came around when their era was going, the older guys before that or set before that. Everybody picks their favorite Knicks group that they kind of watched as a former player, and they kind of attach themselves to them. So, I've got some group texts with a bunch of different guys, but the coolest part about it is the way they treat their alumni. They have a alumni room. I can't think of the exact thing that it's called, but it's a lounge, and there's food, there's drinks, but the conversations that happen, it's like there's times that I could sit down, I'm having, a Caesar salad, you know what I'm saying? Balsamic vinaigrette, you know what I mean? Like, just to set the table for you, you know what I mean? Some sliced cheese and some crackers, and I'm breaking down, you know what I'm saying, Wemby with John Starks, Stephon Marbury, you know what I mean? Patrick Ewing and Latrell Sprewell, and we sitting down and we're talking, and for a moment I have to like snap out of it, like, I used to play with all y'all in the video game. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
Like, I had your jersey, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is actually like a thing.
It's surreal, to be a part of it.
But the basketball minds and what gets said and how much I get to learn is probably the best part of them bringing the alumni together.